Everybody has a day and the sun stays away. Take heart in a new tomorrow.
Fellow Nigerians in Brazil, happy to come your way on this program today. Today we are bringing to you the president of Nigerian community here in Brazil. He is going to address on certain issues relating to palliative reliefs and also about the COVID-19. So I will endorse your indulgences to give your apt attention because he is going to deal on a lot of things. Without wasting time, sir, you are welcome on the program.
Thank you.
Can we know your names in details?
My name is Dr. Emmanuel Oluwatuyi, and the current president of Nigerian community in Brazil.
Okay, sir. Globally, there is this pandemic everywhere arising from COVID-19. Can you give us some brief history about this situation as it relates to our own case here in Brazil and elsewhere?
Thank you very much. The story of COVID-19 is a very complicated history. So, but I will try to bring us to memory of some disastrous happenings in human history.
Okay.
Okay. Why am I saying this? First of all, to avoid panic. Because what is worrying a lot of people all over the world today is the situation of anxiety being generated and fear being generated by COVID-19.
Exactly.
If we go back to history of the recent history, I will start. The situation of COVID is not different from any other war. Okay. The only difference really is that we have in a concrete war, we have the location of our enemies.
Exactly.
In the situation of COVID-19, we don't know where our enemy lies. But if we go back to history, in 1914, the year that Nigeria was amalgamated, the South and the North, that was about 106 years ago.
Okay.
There was an eclosion of war, the First World War, that claimed about 17 million lives or more. Immediately after the war, we have the Spanish virus, the Spanish flu, which they give the name because the disaster really started in Spain. But the virus was imported from Philadelphia in the United States. Okay?
Yeah.
So, but the impact was more intense in Spain.
Okay.
Right? That one claimed 50 million lives.
Only in Spain?
No, all over the world.
All over the world.
Yes. Then after, we have economic depression. We are talking of all disaster that we have passed through, just to make sure that people follow up history.
Okay.
So at the end, I will prove to them that people will survive COVID-19 also. Independent of anything.
Okay.
Right? In 1927, there was a world economic collapse. A lot of people committed suicide. I don't have the number on my head.
Okay.
So, in 1933, the economics started to become better. Immediately after that, in 1939, the Second World War exploded again. That one claimed of more than 170 million lives. Yes, we survived it.
And here we are.
So in the recent times, we see a lot of problems directly linked with virus infections all over the world. In 2002, we have a virus that we call SARS.
Okay.
In 2008, we have another virus called H1N1. And 2012 we have the MERS, though it's they are limited to the what do you call it? Middle Eastern region. Okay. So we did not have this thing. In some part of Brazil, like the south of Brazil, they suffer a lot from H1N1, but they did not accept São Paulo. So that is why there was no panic. Okay? But this one has a peculiarity. The peculiarity is the doubt as regards to the origin of the problem, which today the scientists are confused. We don't know.
So what you are saying that it's not ascribed to China because there's
a lot of interest.
Okay.
A lot of interest. Well, we know that.
Yes,
in Wuhan, we have the case sometimes in November. The first doctor that started to identify this thing, unfortunately, was condemned by the system, by the regime of that country. Okay? And eventually died in February of COVID-19. So immediately we started having doubt. How manage? Shanghai was not contaminated, and Peking was not contaminated. How manage this flu came to land in Europe, right?
And spread
all over. So the Brazilian case is still a case study. So, but what the scientists agreed upon is that we have probably some mutations. We have varieties of this virus circulating, all right? So, but I believe, like many others, as I said, in Africa we have the crisis of Ebola, which came as a storm. It was controlled. We still have some places, especially the region that was affected, the Congo region and the Central African region. Today they are in the phases of recovery. Exactly. So we must have to believe that COVID also will be surpassed.
Okay.
Right? So there's nothing we can do much to avoid this particular epidemic or pandemic. But the advice is that for you not to expose yourself to risk, you have to follow the rules and regulation of your local governments.
Okay.
Stay at home. Stay at home means, or a lockdown as people used to call it, means that you avoid the possibility. But nobody can even guarantee you that even being locked down, you are not going to contact
from it.
Yeah.
Okay, so specifically, what do you tell Nigerians living here in Brazil in this case?
In this case, I will tell you with all sincerity, either you are locked up or not. I will recommend some symptoms that are indicative of the contamination, right?
Okay.
For example, when you start having a dry cough, or productive cough, for more than 1 week, if you have fever, some people may have fever. Even in this, we are confused. Doctors are confused because there's no specific symptoms. As if you do not have specific symptoms, like tuberculosis, I can tell you, if you have a cough for more than 15 days, you sweat in the night, you have evening fever, and you are losing your weight, automatically I don't need to do any exam to know that that is tuberculosis.
Yeah, but this one is...
But this particular one, there's no what we call the pathognomonic symptom. So it may start as a light headache, cough, fever or no fever. But whenever you have a short breath, you have to go to the doctor.
Okay, so what do you tell Nigerians, supposing somebody has, the likely symptoms as you have enumerated, what do you advise? How do they get in contact with, Nigerian community, and especially now you are a doctor?
Yeah, I've already instructed my secretary to spread this particular recording to as many Nigerians as possible. We have the NICOM WhatsApp. They can ask questions through this WhatsApp, right?
Okay.
I'll give them reply immediately. Just narrate what your symptoms are, right? One is that I will be at your disposal to give you orientation, to give you feedback immediately.
Apart from that, is there any telephone numbers, that can be sent out so that people...
The WhatsApp number is available to them.
Okay.
There's no way you can be calling all the time. The WhatsApp is a secure site for messages.
Okay, Nigerian community WhatsApp. Okay, there are people, you can mention their names, that people in case of this situation, like the secretary.
Yes, not only the secretary. First of all, I will cite the names of Nigerian doctors here that can always assist in giving orientation, not only myself. People like the president of the NIDO, Dr. Yusuf Adeshina, right? We will make their telephone available on the NICOM WhatsApp. Dr. Lanley can also assist, give informations. We have Dr. Theodoro Shukudi that can give orientation, right? We have Dr. Rashid that can give orientation, and Dr. Clement that are always at their disposal also. Once we receive all these messages, these doctors are ready to give orientation.
And Dr. Tosin, I think...
Dr. Tosin is on a private basis, it's not in public. Beside that, I will put available right now the name of hospitals where people can easily go. But the first situation is that if you are having the light or mild symptoms, you go to the UPA nearest to your house. UPA nearest to your house, not directly to hospital. We have zonal representation of hospitals. Here in Zonal Lest, where I'm based, we have the hospital where I work. It's exclusively for COVID. I'm ready to attend our people when they are having this symptom that leads to suspicion. They can look for me at that hospital, which is Hospital TDC Tuba in San Miguel Paulista. We have the hospital Emmanuel Matarazo. We have the hospital Katuape. But for you to go to these hospitals, only if you have respiratory difficulty. But for mid headache, fever, or sore throat, or body pain, you always look first.
These are indications.
Those are the indicators of possible contraction of the disease. You go to the UPA nearest to your house. The doctor at that point is obliged to make a correct checkup on you, give you the basic orientation. Once it gives you the basic orientation, definitely if your case is necessary, it will refer you to a nearby hospital. I've already cited the hospitals in the zonal list here, in the eastern zone, but in the southern zone, I know of a lot of hospitals. Hospital Sara in Butantan, references in the southern region of São Paulo. In the western region of São Paulo, that means those people that are living at Freguesiado or Taipas, they can always look for Hospital Geraldo Taipas, or they look for Hospital Dr. Hungria in Pirituba. So these hospitals are ready to receive. If anybody is having difficulty, especially in the language barrier to express, so Dr. Emmanuel is at your disposal. You can send message to my private WhatsApp.
So what's the number?
The number is 992 35 0733. I repeat, 992 35 0733. So this is my personal number. So you can send a message or WhatsApp. I'm not always at your disposal to attend telephone calls. Sometimes I'm operating some situations, so I cannot just interrupt to attend telephone call. But I'm very sure, like many hundreds of Nigerians are doing, once they send me a message, I give them a feedback. So this is what I can offer as at now. But I will take this opportunity to appeal to Nigerians. There is no president in the world that can resolve people's problems without the collaboration of the people.
It's certain. That one is sure.
So if our people are ready to collaborate, which they really need, not only in the situation of COVID, because difficulties we will always live for that. I can make a prediction now that even after this COVID-19, there's possibility within 5 years we are going to have another virus, probably more potent than this one what we are having today. So we don't know what is going to happen tomorrow.
We have to prepare.
The essential of being in a society is for us to get solidarity.
Organize ourselves
so that one can solidarize with the other. We don't need the problem to come before we look for solutions. We need to have a foresight we need to have a foresight
to beat the situation when it comes.
And these things you can see today, why the first world countries are ahead. Why is it that Germany, they have a lot of cases of COVID-19, but they have few numbers of deaths? Because they prepare themselves before time.
Exactly. So they have all the facilities.
It is unlike our country, Nigeria or Brazil, where we need the problem to come for us to be running head and skelter. In Canada, the problem is there, but nobody ever heard about Canada on television.
Yes.
Because they have the structure to attack the problem.
Exactly. No fire brigade approach,
Yeah, they have it. So any society that is wise, just like the ants, they secure food before the rainy season. Okay?
Exactly.
So the essential guiding to ourselves, into a community, to a society, is just to prepare ourselves for unforeseen problems. So I think this is what the message I'm having for our people.
Okay, so now let's come to another point of consideration. Is there any palliative available for the people in need for such a time as this?
Oh yes, the NICOM organized assistance for our people, okay? But unfortunately, only few are collaborating with these efforts. But I will refer people to enter into contact with me, Mr. Ushe, who is the Vice President of NIDO, who is coordinating the situation. For the part of NICOM, specifically NICOM,
okay,
we are doing a project for those who are duly registered members. Okay?
Okay.
So we are fighting on the two fronts. NICOM, they are fighting in one front, and NICOM is fighting on another front that is specifically destined to our needy members. Those are duly registered members of Nigerian community. I don't want people to misconstrue these two situations.
Okay.
So there are two concepts totally different. Because our people, unfortunately, we are still immature. We create confusion.
Okay, so now for those that may have need for this palliative, how do they get in contact with the Nigerian community?
The Nigerian community have the secretary to enter into contact. Yeah. So they need to get in touch with the Nigeria, with the secretary, or the officials of the Nigerian community, such as Pastor John, that is right now in my front, has received all this information. We have our office here at Emmanuel Matarasso, where Miguel Rashid 510. Okay, we have already secured some food here. But we don't know. I have the list of Nigerians that are duly registered. But unfortunately, this list can be shown. We don't have their contact. So it is difficult for me to project to anybody without having any means of contact with them. But we put our contact at their disposal. Okay?
Okay.
So the office is here, Hua Miguel Rashid, 510. But any telephone contact can be made with Pastor John. Mr. Nicholas is the secretary. The vice president, Mr. Emeka Ujo, or Mr. Kunle Faluyi, popularly known as Fat Boy. Okay? So this is what we have to offer to our people right now.
Okay, so what is your final word to the people? What is your final word on this program? Your final word, as a way of wrapping up this program.
Always the same message. Come together, my people. You don't have anything to fear. You only have something to gain. Please come together. This is the only way for a success. Thank you very much.
Thank you. We are glad we have this session of an interview with the President of Nigerian community here in Brazil, Dr. Emmanuel Oluwatuyi. Please, fellow Nigerians, adhere to the message he has passed through, this program today. Let's come together and build one front to make a better life. We have a great opportunity here in Brazil, but that can be possible when we all come as a block. We can make it, we can do it. Thank you all for watching.
together. Living in a world, it's a struggle to stay alive. Somebody tell me, oh, why we fight it? One love can set us free if we just let it be. Take off in a brand new day. Good love is all we need to take the clouds away.